to the hardworking directors who really pressed me to stretch my limits, to the fellow voice actors and machinimators who really they help perpetuate the reason for doing this. So I actually owe everyone besides myself a thank you.
Well, you deserve it, man.
Yeah, thank you.
So, number 5, do you plan to do any fan dubs after your second Attack fan dub?
In terms of me directing from that standpoint?
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that. I think I'm gonna answer and say it hadn't crossed my mind a lot, but if I do manage to do another game, I think it may be one of a few. The first would probably I know some people would say, well, why don't you do Quest 64? But there's not a very heavy focus on dialogue in that game, besides like the people you happen to run across. I actually may consider Jade Cocoon 2, because I talk about that game a lot, and actually, it's ironic because in Jade Cocoon 2, every single line of dialogue is voiced. And I mean from non-player characters, from events, from the character himself, everything is voiced. So it's kind of a project that's already been completed, and it'd just be a sort of personal aspiration, but I'm still going to give some thought as to whether I'd want to do another and what potential games I'd want. But guaranteed, it would probably be another game that not many people remember, but that the people who play certainly would enjoy seeing.
Alright, cool, man. So, number 6, what are some of your favorite projects to voice for?
Number 1 on the list is absolutely Actorman's Final Fantasy IX project, simply because one of the things that helps determine how much I enjoy a project is how determined and full of effort the director himself is, because you can feel the energy from a very dedicated project, and Actorman is by far one of the most dedicated people I've seen regarding this, so the Final Fantasy IX fandom is definitely one of my faves. Some complications ended up ending my participation in this a bit early, but when I was in it, being a part of Sapphire's Higurashi dubs was definitely one of the highlights. That gave me a chance to play one of the characters that I'm better suited for, and I had an absolute blast with that. I wish that I were still doing it, and although it's highly doubtful, maybe in the future I might get a chance to reprise one of those roles, whether for her or for somebody else, but that was definitely it will always remain one of my favorites. There's a lot of machinimations that remain on my top. Actually, Smash Tasm isn't one of them. I voiced in it once, and I enjoy viewing it more than I do voicing in it, which is quite hilarious to me. Virtual Force is one of those. Silver Crisis is another. I think both of those are made by Mega Blue Blaster. I hope that's right, because I'm going to feel really bad if I left someone's name out of there. Besides that, in terms of other dubs, I can't think of any that come off the top of my head. Most of them are either starting out or need to go on for a while, or I just haven't had the time to obtain a love for them. But number 1 on the list will always be Xenorealms, which wasn't a fan dub, it was an original project, and it's probably like a year old now in production, but I'm telling you, the day Xenorealms comes out, I'm going to be shouting about it everywhere, so watch out.
Alright, man, we will. Alright, number 7.
Okay.
Who are some of your favorite voice actors/actresses?
I'm also picky in that aspect, and I know a lot of people would have the list of commons that they would list off, such as Vic Mignogna or Steve Bloom, I always forget. And I'm trying to think of what a third one was. I don't know, maybe some people might say Troy Baker, but in the course of my voice acting hobby, I've only acquired 2 voice acting idols, and they're both for very good reasons. One male and one female. So, which would you like me to start with?
Let's let the ladies go first.
Of course. You're such a gentleman. The female is Carrie Walgren, and the reason for that is because I have yet to see a professional voice actress. Now, I say professional because I can tell you right now, Saskia is very close to filling that role. But professional voice actress cover that expansive roles that Carrie does, and do it so well. She was Haruko in Fooly Cooly. She was Saya in Blood Plus. She was Rain in Tales of Symphonia, and just comparing Rain Sage from Tales of Symphonia to Haruko Fooly Cooly, that is a stark difference right there. And she manages to do it so well. That's why it impresses me. And I think there's a rumor going around, like there seems to be, I think it's called the Kerry Walgren, I don't know if it's a curse or something, but it's that at least since a certain point in time, Kerry Walgren has never had to do more than 2 takes for a line before it's good to go. Ever.
Wow.
I know. And if that's true, then jeez. But when I found out that she was going to be on the guest of honor list for Anime Expo, which is this July, which I'll be attending, yeah, I nearly crapped myself. Because while I intend not to go fanboy in her face, I do intend to give her heavy kudos for all the inspiration that she's given me. And I do hope she continues to find a lot of work in the future. As for the male, that would be Liam O'Brien, and that's because what Kerry covers in range, Liam covers in energy. He is the voice, most notably, I know that he's most known for a couple of roles that he did in Naruto, but the voice I know him most for is Dis the Rose in Tales of the Abyss. And Dis the Rose is literally your description of an overly cocky, insanely sane bad guy. And I mean, like, he's about as nutty as you can get. He's fruitier than a fruitcake, is all I can say. And Liam plays these energetic, overbearing characters with such ferocity and such accuracy that it makes me jealous. If I could play the type of role in an official production that Liam O'Brien plays, I could die happy when I finished, literally. So, that's basically the reason why those 2 are on my list. Liam essentially for the energy and Kerry Walgren for the range, which I wish I could have a bit of that from both of them. But I don't know if I'll be adding anyone to that list anytime soon, but I do keep on the lookout for people to draw inspiration from.
Alright, cool, man. So, number 8, do you plan to leave internet voice acting someday and go on to real professional voice acting?
I tell people, I know that there's always the worry for, I guess, between the relationships that you make, that if I happen to go professional, that I would leave internet voice acting. And I know that there's a lot of people in the professional business, such as Christina V, or I think maybe Lucian Dodge does paid work now. But I know a lot of them still come back to the voice acting boards, and they do things for free projects, which is why I want to follow suit. And I tell people, I say I will do everything I can when I go professional to continue doing free projects for people, and happily doing free projects for people. And probably the only reason why I'll stop is if contract or legal rules forcibly prevent me from doing so. And even then, you'll probably see me sneaking on there from time to time.
Alright. Number 9, which is a little bit more of a fun question in a sense.
Oh, I love fun questions!
If you could have any video game character in the next Smash Bros., who would you want in?
See, I'm not like most people, because I know most people just shout out their favorite character, but when I've thought about this, and when I do, I think about, well, would they be able to have a moveset, right? Because you can't just throw any old character in there. I think a couple people I would like to see in there, of course, being a Mega Man fanboy, I would like to see Mega Man in there. I wouldn't mind seeing Klonoa included into the mix. I know, are you familiar with Klonoa by any chance? That black cat thing with the ring, or...
I've heard a bit about him.
Yeah, there's like a new game for him out on the Wii. I think Klonoa would be a nice change, a nice cartoony character there. We don't need any more Pokemon. We don't. We really don't. I think they could bring back Mewtwo, though. I think a lot of people missed Mewtwo. Besides that, I don't know. I think I'd have to go with that, either Klonoa or most likely Mega Man. I know that it's a pretty stereotypical answer to say Mega Man, but I do see that he could have a potential moveset, if not at least just using moves from, the bosses that he's gained, like bosses that he meets more often, so... Yeah, I think that's what I'll go with.
Alright, and last question.
Oh, snaps!
Which game series do you prefer more, Sonic, Mega Man, or Bomberman?
Oh, you're a devil. I hate you. Oh, man.